Hello again. This is Sylvia Durrell. This is our second installment of the ABCs of buttons. We are featuring buttons that start with the letter B today. And also we will show some buttons with interesting patterned backs. Believe it or not, our Hernando County Button Collectors Group has been around since 2015, 5 years already. We are a study group of the Manatee Button Club. Our goals are to introduce new collectors to the hobby and to educate the new collectors in our group. Pre-COVID, we were meeting on a monthly basis at the Hernando County Main Library in Brooksville, Florida. I hope you visited my blog reference to B buttons. This is a partial list of the B buttons defined there. The missing types are ones you all submitted. We'll also be featuring B for beautiful back buttons throughout. Charlotte Alves chose a black glass button for her B button. She says, "This is one of my favorite black glass buttons, a realistic flower with acid-etched bright and matte finish. A very thin wafer button with a metal plate that helps support the button." And Buckingham's B is for butterfly. It's a sew-through. Her button can also be B for back mark. The back mark is the maker Limoges of France. She explains, "I was fortunate to win this button at the Florida State Button Society button auction. Just love it for its beauty. I have it in my hallway so I can enjoy it every day." TESS BUTZ's B is for bowling ball and bowling pins. It's a metal button about the size of a nickel. Susan Calkins chose 3 buttons with beautiful backs. My B is for basket weave. The material is straw or some fiber like that. It is 1 7/8 inches wide, and I believe the back is celluloid. Do you see that black spot on the back? I think someone tested it for celluloid. HEDY Emerson's B is for bear claw. It's a metal button with a plain shank. It is 1 inch wide. Annie Frazier's B is for Battersea Button Company. It's a favor button from the 2013 Florida State Button Society annual meeting. It's made of pewter. It can also be a B for back mark. The company's name is on it. Also, note the shank in the shape of a face on the back. It's an image of the owner of Battersea Button Company. Carol Hammond's B is for beetle or bug. Carol tells us that it was carved by Bob Benson from a Micronesian nut. It measures 2 1/4 by 1 1/2 inches. It is a 2-hole sew-through. Carol says, "It's one of my favorites because of all the detail in the carving. I used it on a competition tray for realistics and won a blue ribbon. It's a beautiful back as well." Georgine Jerkinson's B is for Boy Scout. It has their slogan, "Be Prepared," on the front. She says it's a shirt button that measures about 1/2 inch. It's brass with a movable metal shank. She has a Girl Scout button also. She goes on to say, "I cannot make out the back. Research says S. Eisner made military brass buttons including Boy Scouts. Some were marked patent 1911 and others Eisner NJ. She's asking anyone who knows more. She would appreciate the info." She also adds, "My brother and I were members of Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. Good childhood memories." By the way, Georgine, I did do some research on the internet, and I believe the back says the maker is Sweet Ore. Marlene Miller's bee is for Bakelite. It's 1 inch wide. A little bit of history. Leo Baekeland created the first true plastic in 1909 and called it Bakelite. It was used to make everything from buttons to telephones. Sharon Mills's bee is for braided or woven. This vintage button is white and made of plastic. Virginia Russ bee is for bone and bee. She explains, I had to send in 2 as I couldn't make up my mind. The bone is from a coyote leg, fashioned into a toggle button. And the bee is a realistic and is about the size of a dime. Kyla Sorvino's bee button is a brown button, modeled, 1 inch wide plastic. The distributor is Le Chic. It's a self-shank. Kyla says, these buttons remind me of a chocolate candy I ate when I was a kid. Chocolates in a box, yummy. I display them in a brown crackled glass dish in my living room. And no, I did not pay $9.50. Now let's look at some buttons with designed backs and take a second look at the ones Susan Calkins and Carol Hammond shared. This one is one of mine. I love the intricate carving design impressed on it. There's another one of mine that has an impressed metal design on the back. This one looks like a fairly plain button until you flip it over and discover that detail that was put on the back as well. These 2 mother and daughter buttons have designed backs, but they are not the same. These last ones I found online and thought they were interesting. They are pale gray marbled buttons that are backed with brighter colors. The manufacturer says they look especially good on light-colored fabrics. The color appears as a fun contrast. They're made in Italy. The end. Thanks again to everyone who contributed. Start looking for your C button. To see a list of possibilities, go to my website's blog at holybuttons.com/blog/archives/09-2016. That's September 2016. And please send comments or suggestions to me at holybuttons@gmail.com. Thanks again. Bye.